Hi, I'm going to take a minute and teach you how I make elderberry syrup. It's really easy to do. It's very cost effective to do it as compared to what you might buy in the store or order online. But you do want to get some dried elderberries. I get mine from Frontier Co-op off of Amazon, but there's other good companies. So dried elderberries, they look like little bitty, they have an interesting smell if you've never smelled them. So you need 1.5 cups of dried elderberries. And I measured that out ahead of time. I like to add Ningxia Wolfberries to it. They kind of look like little raisins. They have a taste somewhere. They're a little bit red though. They have maroon color. And they taste a little bit between a raisin and a cranberry. So they're pretty good. They have extra health benefits. So I like to add about 1/2 cup or 1/3 cup if you have them on hand. Not a requirement, but a nice bonus. And then I'm going to add 2 cinnamon sticks. The recipe that we use calls for whole cloves if you have them. It's a nice to have. Calls for allspice berries if you have those. Just any of those kinds of things that you want to add in for flavoring and extra nutritional support and other things like that. But that's what I have on hand, and I'm not going to let that stop me that I don't have all of the ingredients. The key ingredient is elderberries and water, and everything else is kind of just a bonus. And honey also, but that's a later step. So I have zested some orange. I'm going to put the orange in. Since I didn't have a big orange, I'm just using the little clementines that my kids like. That's what I had, so that's what I'm using. I'm going to cut them in half and I'm going to juice it. I'm putting all this into an Instant Pot. You can make this over the stove if you don't have an Instant Pot, but Instant Pot just kind of cuts down your time. So I'm going to juice them, and then I'm going to drop the whole thing in with it so that we can just get everything out of it that we can. I'm going to show you a quick zest. Maybe you already know this trick on zesting, but with the lemon, I thought I would do it. These oranges are a little bit smaller, so harder to do and took a little bit more time. But I like to get some of the bigger things off by taking just a peeler and just trying to peel as lightly as I can and not get the pith. You don't want that white pith, that's the bitter part. The peel itself is where the zest and stuff is. And in fact, that's where our essential oils come from, is they're cold pressed from the rind. So once you get this all peeled, you're gonna wanna juice it. This is organic lemon. If at all possible, you wanna buy all of these things organic. Add them all into your Instant Pot. Juice this lemon. Elderberry syrup. Later, there's a step later that has adding honey and adding essential oils. But you're gonna want to do that once it's cooled down a little bit. It's just gonna make your Instant Pot or your stovetop all gloopy if you try and add the honey now. So right now we're just focusing on the juice of these lemons, cinnamon stick, elderberries, any of the other allspice or anything else like that you have. And then if you have ginger, you want to do that. You can, if you have raw ginger with you, you can just take the ginger and peel it with the back of the spoon. I don't know if anybody's ever taught you that trick, but basically you just want to take your spoon and pretend this is the ginger, and you can easily just pull the skin off like that. I don't have any ginger, but that's not going to stop me from making my elderberry syrup. So I'm going to add 4 cups of water. And then I'm going to seal this. And hooray if you have an Instant Pot, but it's not a limiting factor if you don't. Put it on high and cook on high pressure for 7 minutes. And once I'm going to let it naturally release, which usually takes 10 or 15 minutes. And once it's naturally released, I'll show you what the next step looks like. Okay, so I have pressure cooked this for 7 minutes on high. I took it off, took the lid off, let it come to natural release. Took about 15 minutes, and then I opened it up and let it saute for 15 minutes on high. What that does is kind of reduces it down a little bit and gives you that syrup consistency. And now I'm gonna just pour everything out into this colander. And then I'm going to use this mashed potato masher, and I'm going to kind of mash it, make sure I get everything that I can out. And from there, we're gonna let it cool. And and that's when you're gonna add honey. One thing, on our recipe that we're gonna provide, it says 3/4 cup of honey, and that's obviously to taste. You want to use raw, unfiltered honey. It'd be great if you could find it local, because the bees interact with the pollen in your area and can help ward some things off for you in that regard. And so you just want to mash this, and then once it comes to room temperature, that's when you want to incorporate your honey. And if you're going to flavor your elderberry with essential oils, that would be when you would want to add your vitality oils to the whole batch. I'm going to wait, and I'm going to add the vitality oils to the gummies. So if you're making elderberry syrup, this is kind of where you'd stop. You squeeze this out, you add your honey, you let it cool, add your oils, and then you store it in your fridge for about up to a month. Or you can freeze it for longer. But so if this was syrup, this is where I'd stop. My next video is going to show you how we turn these into gummies and what that looks like. It's a pretty simple process. There's not a lot more to it. But that's when I'm going to flavor mine with essential oils. So hope this has been helpful. It's really easy to do and is a really cost-effective way to help support your immune system.